everyone? Kaiju friends and fans, Phil the Kaiju King back. Another quick video here. Take a look at this fella. This is my first HIYA toys. This is the box. This is the Stylist series, which are the non-articulated. This is the Burning Godzilla 2019, King of the Monsters. Alright, let's move on to the star of the show. The HIYA Toys Stylist series, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Burning Godzilla. Right, one on back. Here it is. HIYA Toys Stylist series, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019, Burning Godzilla version. These are HIYA Toys, been around for a minute. This is my very first HIYA Toys. This is my first experience with them. And I must say it's a pretty impressive looking little figure for what it is. Probably about 7 inches tall, 8. I don't know, 7 to 8 maybe. Pretty cool figure so far. I'm a fan of this Stylist series. If anyone knows how many of these Stylist series there are, because I've seen like 5 or 6 online maybe. I don't know if there's more than that though. Someone let me know. Because I like these, they're non-articulated. The other series are fine, exquisite, I think it's called, but there's just too many seams for articulation points. And I just decided that I wasn't really interested in those, but I didn't even realize they had something like this till I started looking. I think this is pretty cool, these things that they made a series that is not articulated, and probably nice little details from what I can see on it. We'll take a closer look here in a minute, but it came out, I guess, in 2024. Has on the back of the box, says 2024 legendary. It must have came out last year, I'm guessing. I didn't even know nothing about them having these until I seen them, just started looking at them and seen that it said Stylist series, and I was like, well, what's the difference? And it didn't look like these had any seams like the others. And I started reading and they were non-articulated. Of course, this is the Godzilla from King of the Monsters 2019, the final power-up version of Godzilla in the movie, the version that destroys Ghidorah, pretty much. Pretty awesome Godzilla. Come in a plastic shell in that box. The tail attaches here. You can really nicely hidden, kind of. You can kind of see the seam a little, but it ain't super noticeable, really, in my opinion. The tail goes down and touches, and the tail is separate. Like I said, they were both in a plastic bag. The tail pushes on. It's pretty snug. Didn't have to hair dry it or nothing. At least I didn't have to. You can see the sections of the tail look nice. It curves off to his right. The tail does. Dorsal plates start on the tail and go up to the back, of course. Nice orange and some light orange, yellowish colors on the tips, and then some burnt orange, darker oranges on the actual dorsal plates, the center mass of the dorsal plates. Legs are nice and fat and thick. Toenails are pretty much black in color. You can see there's some decent details on this Godzilla, for sure. Thicker thighs and legs, signature of the legendary Godzilla. Here on the chest, you got your signature armor plating. This legendary Godzilla's had this pretty much every movie. Even after his evolved form, he still had that. Looks really nice. Here on the head, the eyes are pretty much all orange, of course. Mouth wide open, gaping open. Teeth are not really super detailed. I would say not, but they're there, but they're not really individually sculpted or nothing. He looks nice though for what he is. It was like a $50 figure, guys. So it ain't like, you can see here he is in my hand. I've got a tape measure. We'll measure him up real quick just to actually see his actual heights. Let's see. So to the top of his head, it's pretty much 7 inches. But out here to the top of the dorsal plate, the one that's highest is probably 7 3/4. Top of this dorsal plate. So top of his head, it's 7 inches. We'll move on to some comparisons here, and let's do that now. All right, y'all, here's my 6-inch scale figure, Kongzilla. There's a video on my channel of that guy. That's an AliExpress find I found on there. He's probably 6.5 inches tall. Pretty close to height of Godzilla there. Yeah, he's probably 6.5. We'll do some more comparisons. Let's do that now. Right, y'all, here's the Ichiban Show. Bandai Ichiban Show Godzilla 2024. Energized. Pre-evolved. All right, one more comparison. We'll do that now. All right, y'all, final comparison. Here's the Shin Gomus from Shin Ultraman. All right, we'll move on to some final thoughts here. Let's do that now. All right, y'all. HIYA Toy Stylist Series Godzilla, Burning Godzilla 2019. It's a pretty neat figure. For my first one, I got 2 more today, actually, from BBTS. I think they were a little higher. Seems like they're higher on everything, though, in my opinion. Amazon's actually the best way to get them, in my opinion. They come quicker, and I think they're actually cheaper on most of them. But I don't think they have all of them. Like I said, I think I've seen like 5, and there's a Shimo coming. It ain't out yet. So somebody, at least it ain't out here, might be out overseas. If anybody knows exactly how many of these they've released in this line, let me know. All right, everybody, I'll close out this video. I want to thank everyone who tunes in. This is Phil the Kaiju King. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll talk again soon.